Hello everyone, this video is in continuation to our videos on biomolecule. In our last video we have completed enzymes, and this video we'll talk about nomenclature. Fine, we'll talk about some old methods also, we'll talk about the latest ones as well. So watch the video till the end, because in the end you will get all those pointers on your board which are important for your notes. So we'll start now. Now first of all we'll start from the old methods and then we'll move to the latest ones. So the first method was adding of a suffix. Nomenclature means naming. Naming of enzymes. How are they given their names? Fine. So in the nomenclature, the first very old method, the first method which was used was adding of suffix. For example, maltose के ऊपर if it's acting, तो the enzyme is maltase. Suppose it is acting on maltose, that enzyme would be maltase. So this ase is added, ase is added here. So it becomes an enzyme. Sucrose, sucrase, the enzyme which acts on it. So addition of suffix ase is the first technique of naming the enzymes. It's used nowadays also, but yes, it is the oldest method. Next is the source from where the enzyme is obtained. That also gives the name. For example, papin is an enzyme which is received from papaya. Fine. So papin is an enzyme. Name of the enzyme is papin, and from where do we get it? It's present in papaya. Fine. So this is something wherein the enzyme, the source is responsible for giving the name to the enzyme. Third scenario, it is kind of not recent, but yes, kind of quite very modern. That is a condition where two names are taken. Two names, and out of these, or you can say two words, one is substrate and the other one is the reaction. First would be the substrate and second would be the reaction. For example, pyruvate it forms, or you can say in the reaction which is here is the decarboxylase reaction. Decarboxylase reaction. So this is the reaction and pyruvate is there. So what happens here? The enzyme would be pyruvate decarboxylase, and herein this decarboxylase is responsible for removal of CO2 from pyruvate. Fine. So this is how it works. That means substrate and reaction both are considered here in the naming of the enzyme. And after this we have the most modern or the latest technique which is used, and that is given by IUB, that is International Union of Biochemistry here. So International Union of Biochemistry, International Union of Biochemistry. So this has given certain numbers to the enzymes, and on the basis of these numbers they have been given different names. So these numbers are the EC numbers, that is enzyme commission numbers. Fine. So we have it in a sequence: EC1, EC2, EC3, EC4, EC5 and EC6. So we have different names here. I'll write down all the names one by one. So herein we have EC1 में we have oxidoreductase. reductase. These type of enzymes are categorized as we'll talk about them one by one. Oxidoreductase, EC2 transferases, EC3 is hydrolases, then lyases and isomerases, and last is ligases. Fine. So we have oxidoreductase, transferases, hydrolases, lyases, isomerases and ligases. So these are E1 to E6. So we'll talk about them one by one. What are they and how do they act? So the first one is oxidoreductase. Oxidoreductase, the category of oxidoreductase enzymes are the ones which undergo both. That means they will undergo oxidation and reduction both. So herein these enzymes will undergo oxidation and reduction reaction, both the reactions in one go. So they are also known as redox reactions. So these are the ones, oxidoreductase enzymes are the categories which will be used in oxido or redox reactions, wherein oxidation and reduction are taking place in the same reaction. Second is transferases. Transferases enzymes are the ones which help in transfer of functional group. Transfer of functional group. Now their name will depend on which functional group is to be transferred or which functional group is transferred. For example, if the functional group is an amino group, the name will be transamylase or aminase or amylase. And if it is a carboxylic group, it would be trans-carboxylase. Fine. So herein the name depends on the functional group which has to be transferred. So they are transferases. Wherever the transfer of functional group has to take place, these enzymes are used. Next are hydrolases. Now, hydrolases are the enzymes which are responsible for breaking of bonds. They help in breaking bonds, but by addition of water. Very, very important. By addition of water. They just break the bonds by addition of water. The category of enzymes which we categorize under hydrolases are digestive enzymes. All the digestive enzymes are hydrolases. Very common example is when starch is broken down to form isomaltase plus limit dextrins. Fine. In the presence of which enzyme is responsible for this breakage? The starch is broken into the limit dextrins, isomaltose and isomaltose. We have maltose also and isomaltose. Enzyme which is here, amylase. Amylase, it acts on starch while in the mouth. If it is in salivary amylase, same in intestine if it is from pancreatic amylase. So amylase will act in the breaking down, but when the breaking is taking place, water is released during this process. We all know that starch has glycosidic bonds present in it, and when we did our in biomolecules only, when we were talking about the carbohydrates, we have discussed that as and when the glycosidic bonds they break to form something else, water is released in that reaction. So that water is released due to the hydrolase enzyme. All the digestive enzymes are hydrolases. Then we have lyases. Lyases, same same as hydrolases, but there is a difference. They also help in breaking bonds, but no water released. No water is added or released or formed. Okay? So they are lyases, also help in breaking of bonds. Next is isomerases. Isomerases are the ones which are responsible for conversion of one isomer into another, or you can say they convert, or changing the shape of one isomer to another. There are two very common isomers, glucose and fructose. So isomerases are the ones which help in interconversion of isomers. Example, like glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate. So here this conversion is done by hexose isomerases. Kyun? Both of them are hexose sugar. So the enzyme which is used here is hexose isomerase. Isomerase. So the category is isomerase enzymes. Last category is ligases. Ligases. Now, ligases are the ones which join bonds to form new substances. We have hydrolases and lyases which break the bonds, but there should be some enzyme which is responsible for formation of bonds also. So ligases, they help in formation of bonds to form new substances or products or whatever you say. So this is the nomenclature of enzymes. We have discussed the various ways in which we name the enzymes, and the most common one under which oxidoreductase, transferase, hydrolase, lyase, isomerase and ligases enzymes category we have discussed. In our next video, we'll talk about metabolism and how it is there in our body and how it works. So keep watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you.